Good.
Not
Say it
recording.
again.
We're gonna start off with a budget hearing. We're gonna start off with 1900, so we'll call the meeting to order. Is there any public comment about the budget that was posted in the newspaper and that was approved by the budget committee? No comment? All right, meeting's adjourned.
All right.
Wait. No.
Nope.
Nope.
Hey. Here we go. It is 7 p.m. on the 10th day of June 2025. As presiding officer, I hereby call this regular meeting of the Vernonia Rural Fire Protection District Board of Directors to order. Please note this meeting is being recorded. Public comments will be accepted during the public comment section of the agenda. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Are there any additions to the agenda? Hearing none. Members present, myself, Mickey Demger,
James Pizarski.
Neil Kennedy.
Greg Brody.
James George.
Board Secretary Charlotte Henry.
Other staff, please sign in on the visitors list. Moving on, approval of the minutes of the previous regular board meeting, 5/13 regular meetings.
I have them here, amended minutes for April 8th and the May 13th meeting minutes as typed.
They care to make a motion.
I motion that we accept the May minutes as presented.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? Hearing no discussion. Neil Kennedy,
Aye.
James Pizarski,
Aye.
James George,
Aye.
motion carries. Ms. Leiter,
In July, we'll have the next issue in The Voice. And Brody and I recently are working, just the other day, we met with Scott Laird and he's going to be writing an article in the Rural Life. That'll be out in August.
You're writing it or Scott? Nice.
do we have any correspondence?
We do. We have postcard thanking Chief Brody for being a cook at the Spam breakfast with the for the Lions. We have another postcard from a patient. We received a really nice letter from the Vernonia School District to Christina Wolf, thanking her for all of her hard work with the SKID program. And then one more co-sponsor request that Chief Brody will be speaking about.
Do we have a postcard too?
Yes, there's two postcards going around.
Okay.
We're just going opposite directions.
Okay.
From your story.
Treasurer's report.
Yeah.
Do you have any additional
Our
checks
service is
that need to be
good.
signed?
We do have checks that need to be signed.
I will take a motion.
Before the motion to pay the bills. I'll second the motion.
Missing a paper clip on this one, sorry.
Is there any discussion on any of those bills? Hearing no discussion. Neil Kennedy,
Aye.
James Pizarski,
Aye.
James George.
Aye.
Which one did you already see?
Motion carries. Pay the bills.
That one.
You will see that the striker bill on the checks that you'll be signing today, this is the final payment for our life pack. We will own it in full at this point and have no debt.
Paying off yearly.
Yes, paying off a year early.
And do we keep that?
Yes.
Okay,
Well, that's one of the, that's for the payment for two of them.
right, but we got rid of one.
We got rid of one. And we got money for that.
Moving on, chief's report.
Okay, I'm gonna try to fire through this. Total calls for service in, May was 54 calls for service. Year to date now is 231. We're a little bit under, but typically we make up for that in the summertime. Apparatus issues, Rush 451, our most used vehicle, had a couple issues. First was the turbocharger, which had to be replaced, and then once we got it back, it developed a problem with the exhaust system. It appears we got fixed. I don't think we've had any problems with driving the past week or so. Yeah, light brush.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, yeah, we had to replace the whole fuel tank on the thing. But we ended up spending over $4,000 to get it repaired. A couple interesting calls. We had 2 out of the area assist for wildland fires, both in the Rainier area. One we sent a brush truck. The other time we sent a tender to there, helped out Columbia River Fire and Rescue. We've had 3 motor vehicle crashes in the month of note. We had one involved a log truck that was pinned up against a guardrail. And that would have been one that we could have submitted billing for. Unfortunately, our ordinance had not yet gone into effect. It goes into effect on the 13th of this month. So we couldn't submit a bill for that. Then we have
200, usually they're right. Go
Sorry?
ahead, I'm just,
and then one mutual aid call. They needed help in Foxbury. They were like out of ambulances. The closest ambulance was 45 minutes away. So I went and responded and helped them out there. Training, we've had our firefighter 1 academy. They've been doing live fire exercises.
normally it's.
We had one of our firefighters graduate from Banks Fire Academy. We got 4 more that are gonna graduate soon from the Scappoose Academy. 135 hours of training. Actually, the numbers a bit higher. Can you give me some more numbers? Up around 150 or 60. We've included that skid presentation, extrication training, driver training, firefighter 1 basic skills, EMS. One thing of note is we're going to soon be developing and hosting a support firefighter academy. I've talked to you about this before, where TPSST has a new certification level out there. Essentially, it's firefighter light. They do everything but the heavy duty stuff. But it's certainly going to be something that they can definitely assist us with on scene. And I'm so much interested in this program, this certification, that we are going to be running all of our volunteers through an academy type that do not have a certification. I'm going to make it a basic requirement they achieve this minimum certification if they're physically capable of doing so. And down the road, it's my goal to make Vernonia kind of a regional hub for training these support services firefighters. In that we would develop we're working right now to develop an online hybrid type academy program where they'll be doing all their book work online. And then they come up here to Vernonia for 1 weekend and we put through all practical exercises in 1 weekend. We charge a little bit to cover our expenses, our overtime, lunches and things like that. And I think we could bring in firefighters from Kotza, Tillamook, Columbia, maybe Washington counties as well. And go through that 1 weekend, just get it out of the way. So looking forward to that. Okay, Lieutenant Levin's working on that for me right now. Several volunteers have donated time pulling shifts here, including Chief Meyer, 231.5 hours of volunteers that just came down here and hung around for more than 2 hours, ready to go on calls. Certainly appreciated. One of our volunteers just got his Oregon EMT last month. Very, very proud of him for working on that and doing that. We have hired 7 firefighters for our summer seasonal grant. It's a bit more than we hired last year. But we found that a lot of our volunteers, a lot of people we wanted to hire couldn't work consistently every day or several days in a row. So we ended up hiring 7 and split that up amongst everybody. So everybody gets 4 or 5 shifts per month doing that. I think that also gives us the opportunity to get more volunteers, some experience and training rather than some select few. So we'll be we'll be working 8 to 8. We'll upstaff over Independence Day and Jamboree. Staff includes 1 paramedic, 2 EMTs, 1 EMR. We're gonna get a lot done. I told them in a meeting we had last week that this will not be sitting around this table for 12 hours. We're gonna get things done. I intend on getting out and clearing hydrants, beautifying the station, getting out in the public, going down to the park, going down to the dam, playing around, getting us out in the public and doing things. So I have a lot of things to get done. We're gonna wash and wax every rig twice this summer. New pickup from the Hillsborough should be arriving soon. Chief Meyer said, just get us the check so we can do it. Their brand new rig that they just got, that's this one's, that's replacing, apparently had to go back in the shop to get some light sticks on or something like that. So I would think next week or two, we're gonna have that rig up here. Still probably gonna cost us $2,000 to get our logos and stuff from it. I hope all of you saw our new signs up front of our station. They look fantastic. We're really thrilled by that, and it's amazing the positive feedback we've gotten from the public about how they look, and we're very, very proud of that. Interesting thing. So last year, hard work of Lieutenant Carr, and we put together a federal grant, put in for a federal grant called Assistance to Firefighter Grant from FEMA, and through new SCBA's. They're gonna run us somewhere around $9,000, $10,000 per unit. That's with the spare bottle. I got an email 2 weeks ago from FEMA asking for some information that was very benign. And I was that made me very pleased. Number one, we weren't automatically kicked out of any single process, and they were just crossing their T's and dotting their I's at the federal level to do this. So I believe we are probably going to be successful in this grant. I'm thinking very much positive that's going to happen. The first round of grants in years past have started mid-July, and then about every week or two, they release more people. So that goes through mid-September. So hopefully you'll hear about it in July, but it could be late in September when we hear about this grant. So I've contacted the manufacturers, and their representatives have been out here to bring us air packs to look at. That's the latest, greatest stuff out there by a company called MSA. And they came out and gave us a little class. They're going to come back and give a larger class to people. Let us play around with them using it. So, from something. I sent you all a June vacation update. I have a lot of days off in June simply because I don't take off any time during the summer. I pack it all in this month. So starting tomorrow, I'm heading up to Crane Prairie to do 5 days of fishing. I'll be back here for 3, then I'm gonna do 3 days on the Deschutes River fishing. I'll be back here for 3 days, and I'm gonna go 4 days camping with my buddy. So I'm gone a lot. I've notified everybody that needs to be notified, all the chiefs in the area that are aware of it. Hopefully nothing bad will happen, and I don't see a problem. I don't suspect any problem. As a reminder, I do work on federal and state incident management teams, and we're nearing the season. We just had a preseason meeting last week. I attended in Bend, and there could come a time when I get a strange phone call at certain hours saying, "Hey, listen, we need you," and who knows where. So that could be a possibility. If that does, I will notify the board president and or vice president if I'm able to go to the president immediately if that's going to happen. I can do a lot of things from my position where I work in the base camp, like internet connections, and I can still get a lot of things done. I can work on policies, I can read emails, I can do a bunch of things externally. I have an app on my phone that allows me to talk on the radio if I had to. So I can still get a lot done, but see how the summer backs up.
Did you say you're on a federal overhead team or state?
Federal and state. Yeah.
Okay.
Federal and state. Okay, so I've changed from what you have in your notes to number 9. It says BFD has remaining budget funding and will be spending a large sum of money this month to bring us in compliance with NFPA standards for wildland PPE. Upwards of 8,000 to 10,000 is initially what Brandon and I were talking about earlier. That number is probably going to be reduced. We've got those bills in, for example, the truck fix, we have an insurance bill come in, things like that. So that number is likely to be reduced, but we've already ordered new boots for our paid staff. They're $400 a piece, $350 each. New wildland pants for our folks to bring us into compliance, things like that. And then we're going to try to outfit our summertime staffing to the best of our abilities, things like that. Get what we need to do. If we've got a little discretionary, we're not going to blow every last dollar that we have in carryover, but we're going to take a percentage of that and get what we need. I mentioned this a couple months ago, but I determined that through reading everybody and talking to a bunch of other chiefs, that our past practice of paying duty officers for coverage is not legal. After consultation with other agencies, it's been determined that we can pay a stipend, but essentially no strings attached to the BOLI and other labor laws. Chief Meyer faithfully spends 1 weekend a month in Vernonia and plans to continue to do so. He's also will be able to assist if needed at most times, and he's got the administrative and overhead and his historical reference for covering me if I'm not available and to make some decisions at the big level if needed. For that reason, I've negotiated a yearly stipend of $2,500. It's going to be paid to him in July. Yes, this is kind of the honor system. I think he's been a very honorable man. I have no concerns about Chief Meyer taking $2,500 and checking out the next day and quitting their service. But essentially, it works out for $200 a month. So it's not a great deal of money, and we can do that just paying that one stipend. Like I said, essentially no strings attached. We can only ask. We can't require him to work anything for that. But he has stepped up since I took over as chief. He has stepped up and pulled a weekend shifter every month. I don't see that changing. So one thing to note here is longtime volunteer Lauren Loomis, who's in the room, has resigned, citing time constraints. I've known Lauren for a long time, working when I was a firefighter in St. Helens. He was a volunteer back in academy. And I know that in talking with a lot of people and talking with him, he has been an incredible asset to this organization. How many years? A little over 16 years. Done an amazing thing for organization, but he and I had a conversation on the phone a couple of weeks ago, and I said, I just can't do it. I got too much going on. I just can't do it anymore. And so he is going to step down. He's got some ideas about some other ways he might be able to help us out, but I'll let him talk about that if he wants to. So I don't know if you all saw some information posted recently on social media regarding ambulance service areas in the county. If any of you read the Concerned Citizens of Columbia County, a little backstory is the state makes ambulance services areas. The entire state of Oregon is covered by an ambulance. Every square inch of Oregon has an ambulance assigned or an ambulance area that is assigned to a specific ambulance organization to cover that area. It's up to the counties to administer that plan. And for the better part of 4 decades, Columbia County has, at least with the fire districts, reached just basically what's called a IGA, 190 agreement, intergovernmental agency agreement that here's what we need, here's what you'll provide, everybody's happy, sign here, and really no problems. For some reason, and I don't know the exact reasons, but the county has decided to change their approach to things and wanted the fire districts to actually enter into a contract as franchisees. And within those contract rules and regulations they presented to the fire districts made a lot of the other fire districts mad. I want to make it very clear that this problem does not affect Vernonia because we are covered by Metro West Ambulance, which is a private entity that has a contract with the county already. But there's been a big hullabaloo. The county has basically said that they have contacted Metro West, and if the fire departments in the county don't want to provide the ambulance service or meet or sign this contract by, well, today, actually 2 hours ago, they were gonna issue an emergency clause and bring in Metro West to start covering the agencies on July 1st. So basically getting rid of Columbia River, Klatskai, Scappoose, and Birkenfeld would all not be able to respond as ambulance providers. I don't know where this went, but we had a chiefs meeting yesterday, and it sounds to me like the chiefs all were going to sign the agreement under duress and hopefully continue discussions about their unhappiness about it. But again, this does not really affect us. The only way that would affect us was that it would probably mean that Metro West ASA would extend all the way to Mist. Mist runs 5, 6, 7 calls a month, and that would just mean our ambulance would be sent to Mist instead of them having their own ambulance, which would mean 5, 6, 7 times a month. We'd be short an ambulance for a couple hours here. As Charlotte pointed out, Chief and Charlotte and I did an interview with Scott Laird for Rural Light Magazine. Went very, very well. A lot of good information exchange. If you notice, we have fans. Our station AC units. Of course, we have the Discover one was 95 degrees outside and it was 78 degrees in here. Our AC is not working. Tomorrow morning, they're coming in. The technicians are coming in. The parts should be covered under warranty. Labor, perhaps not. So we'll see what that's going to take. And I am done with my chief's report.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Just heard rumors about jamboree preparations and the changing to the program on where they keep the food court and how they plan to power said food trucks.
Yes.
Do you have any comment?
So I was asked about that and I said, well, send me a plan. So, and I have not seen anything yet.
Okay.
And once I see a plan, I will consult with other fire marshals who are more knowledgeable, experienced in this to get their take on things. And there was one concern brought up to me about access where we would normally land life flight and that would be blocking that. That one's less a concern. I mean, we can land life flight in a lot of other places if we had to. I really don't like, if there's a crowd of people there, I really don't want to land life flight next to a crowd of people anyway. So, yeah, I will, once I see a plan, then we'll see. Okay, we gotta go.
One more question? Burn ban?
Burn ban, yeah. We had a meeting yesterday at the chief's level. There's still a bunch of numbers being thrown or dates being thrown around. Rumor is that ODF is gonna go into burn ban on June 29th. The chiefs and I were talking, they said, well, typically we go on July 1st. And then we discovered that Multnomah County is going in on July 5th. So people can have their bonfires and stuff on July 4th. So there was really no answer given, but I would say sometime June 29th and the 5th of July, we're gonna go into burn ban. Don't know exactly yet. It might be, I get a phone call saying, hey, we want to go in day after tomorrow. You go to that? I'll say, yes, we'll throw it on social media. Oh, we gotta remember to update our burn line too.
Well, and the reader board.
Yeah, well, the reader board will be done for sure. Yeah. But we gotta update our burn line.
We update the website as well. We have a bird page.
I will write yeah, I need, please make a note to remind me to contact Northwest Telecom to get a script for no burning.
Is that gonna go on Instagram too?
Yes.
Snapchat.
X, Snapchat,
If we have an account, it
What's-
should be there.
WhatsApp app.
Yeah.
Can only be read for like 20 seconds.
That's right.
Moving on, old business, board policies. We're leaving that, tabling that until I'm gone. Strategic plan, once again, leaving that till I'm gone. Policy, personal firearms.
Okay, well, after discussion last board meeting, we decided that the policy that was in Lexipol was not adequate, was too broad, too general, didn't quickly and properly address what we felt was the appropriate thing around here. So, in working with Director Kennedy here, he sent me a copy of the policy they used at the Water District. And I went through and I found the errors that we've spotted. I don't know.
Boilerplate.
So, this policy is, which name is this again? It's not Swan Valley. It's
It was 12 months.
Swan Valley Water District. Huge, $300 billion organization, probably has in-house counsel, probably has, you know, the bandwidth and the time and the personnel, and like I said, in-house counsel to vet and write these kind of policies. So I will freely admit that I did not send this into our attorney for review. I'm assuming that, well, I can pretty much guarantee if I send it to our attorney, they're gonna find a few words and commas and stuff like that to change around in policy, but I doubt that it would receive much in terms of change in the substance of it, because it was written by an attorney in a public safety, a public workplace.
Just by me.
So, I'm not sure if you had a chance to read this policy. I've looked it over. I don't have any concerns. Perhaps Director Kennedy can speak to it better than I could.
No, I'll also, I mean, it's a lot more comprehensive, right? So it kind of goes a different direction than the policy that we were talking about last month. It covers violence in the workplace, but it does specifically reference the piece that we were talking about firearms and firearms on property and what does that mean? One of that district at the time that I was working with this had some of the same issues, right? So, you know, we have a population of outdoors folks that, you know, maybe after shift want to go hunt or whatever, and may have personal firearms in the vehicle. And I didn't want to interfere with that. And so one of the bright delineations in this plan says that there won't be any firearms on property, on work sites, in buildings and rigs. But for the purposes of the policy, that doesn't include your private vehicle parked on property and secured properly. So. And it makes no reference to trying to control the public. Because we're a public entity, we're a public building, we're open to the public. Short of putting mag portals, you're not going to enforce them, so. And obviously this, I mean, this was accepted and used by my district after I wrote it. It is a little bit older, but it went through SDAO and all the things.
So I basically changed this around from notifying the executive director or security manager. I just said notify the fire chief if there's threats, if there's policy violations, how will we conduct a investigation? And you know, what steps to take if there's receiving some complaints. I'm having trouble talking.
It does, if you haven't read it, it does deal with internal threats as well as external threats. So if you were on a work site and somebody became belligerent, it has plans for dealing with that. If you were at work and it was a coworker threatening you, and how to classify that threat. Because oftentimes you run into a situation where somebody goes afterwards, well, I didn't realize that was threatening behavior, right? So it actually calls out what a veiled threat is. So it gives a lot of latitude, and it gives a pretty clear line for the chief to be able to conduct an investigation and make a determination. It speaks to a lot of different areas.
So Director Kennedy pointed out to me two small errors that I made. I forgot to delete this article, reference something else in their policy manual. And also, instead of calling 911, they have an internal dial line. You get an external line, 9911. I'm going to delete these two out of here. Should this policy be adopted, I would put it into the format that we use in Lexipol with the corrections made.
Any discussion?
And I was threatened by Charlotte earlier today when I said maybe not have a Christmas tree this year. So we need this policy.
This is good. This has already been to district council.
So it has not. I chose not to. If you guys like me, I will, but like I said, TV, Long Valley Water District is a member of SBAO. They have in-house counsel. And there's nothing in here that I saw that raised an eyebrow for me.
I'm not putting in a motion, I wrote it.
I didn't see anything wrong with it. I thought it was pretty plain and mostly boilerplate.
Do we have a motion to accept the personal firearms policy?
It's violence in the workplace.
Violence in the workplace, yeah.
Violence.
That's-
Okay, that I was kind of confused. So we'll just, do we want to keep this under old business and just rename it and scratch it from the new business? I thought these were two different policies, but it's kind of two in one,
It's,
essentially.
yeah, it was
Okay.
one that was introduced that we didn't
Okay, well-
like. This will supersede it,
Okay,
if approved.
So let us just say the personal firearms policy for both business C is
Good.
null and void
okay,
essentially.
okay.
Right?
And just keep it, this is new business.
Yeah.
Yeah,
new
we'll
business.
move on-
Okay.
We'll move on to new business,
Okay.
which includes the workplace violence policy. Does somebody want to make a motion?
I make a motion to adopt the workplace violence policy as written. I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion? Hearing none. Neil Kennedy,
Aye.
James Pizarski,
Aye.
James George.
Aye.
Motion carries. Policy is adopted. Board election update.
So, you want to talk about it or you want me to?
It'd be great.
We received a phone call, last week from the county elections division stating that they had some, basically, they wanted to know when our next board meeting was. I told them it was on Tuesday anyway. Okay. And I said, well, what's going on? He said, well, you have your election and we've got one candidate that is, that was on the ballot and was elected to the 2-year term. And that person's actually sitting in the room right here. And then also we had some write-in candidates. They weren't at liberty to give us names, but he did say that those names would be known. And it is then his responsibility to contact these people and see in fact if it's something they want to actually do, because they may not have known their name was written in. So he is going to be contacting these people probably this week and finding out if they don't, well, what they want to do. Only after then can they certify the election as being done. What we're gonna need to do is have a special board meeting between, when is the dates? Well, after June 16th, prior to July 1st, for us to accept that, those names and things like that, to be seated as board members. If these people who may not know that their name was put on there don't want them, then we would move into a position where we have 3 board members and we'd have people that would apply for board positions through the process that way that you guys have been through before. So basically what I'm telling you guys is sometime between June 16th, well, yeah, I guess the evening of June 16th would work, I guess, if we get notification. So I would say June 17th to July 1st, somewhere in there. We can do this via Zoom. I don't think you need to be here. We can give you guys information over Zoom to do this. If you want to come in and do it, up to you, but we'll need to have that so you guys see that information as a seated board. Sorry to make one more meeting for Mickey.
Now let me throw a wrinkle at it. I'm gone from the 16th to the 25th.
Can you zoom in?
I don't know.
I'm gone from the 24th.
Are you able to zoom in?
Nope, I'll be in Amsterdam. Sorry.
They got Zoom and they got internet in Amsterdam.
I got a computer with me.
Uh, do it on the 17th. And I can at least audio call.
That's provided they certified.
Well, they said they must certify by the 16th and we'll call them that day and get their names and stuff like that.
So can we do it on the 17th? Does that work?
I don't know.
17th, 1900 hours here, or you want online or what here? Probably it's online or both.
So next week. Yeah, online would be best.
So do I have a motion to schedule a special meeting?
I'll make a motion to schedule a special board meeting for June 17th at 7:00 PM.
I hear a second.
I second that motion.
Any further discussion? Hearing no further discussion. Neil Kennedy,
Aye.
James Pizarski,
Aye.
James George, scheduled a meeting.
What day of the week is that? Tuesday?
That is a Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Okay, then I'm gonna send it to your email on Monday, the invite.
Okay, make sure it gets posted.
I will post.
Can I make a special request? Can you text me? I won't have a computer with me, I'm putting in my calendar now.
Write that down.
Give me a phone number to call.
It's noted.
You can put, the Microsoft Teams on your phone.
I probably already have.
Okay.
Really don't want. So it is, I'll be doing this at, 11 o'clock at night or whatever, so
What would it be?
Tennessee.
Okay.
Oh.
Well, I
Buying
mean,
your
it
property?
could be a
Maybe.
5-10 minute meeting, so. This is new territory for me, so
Okay.
I don't know much about how this writing thing works, I don't know, so.
So they need 7 votes
Total
total
to be
to
qualified.
be qualified. And then some of those people might not be qualified because of changes we made
Yeah.
2 years ago.
Yep.
So,
I need to know about these changes. Can we find some board minutes or something?
and not been
It's important.
an employee or a volunteer of the, fire department within 5 years of
Right.
being elected to the board. I think that was exactly
Yeah,
right. It's in our policies.
That's what it is.
Okay.
It was it 5 years? I
Yeah,
couldn't
5
remember if it was
years.
5 or 2,
It
but
was.
It was 5, I think.
okay.
Do you remember the month? This was in twenty
It would have
twenty-three.
been, July or August of 23.
Okay, I'll do some searching.
Or
I have mine all at home.
No, it wasn't elections. We didn't get sworn in.
Yeah, that would be.
I was like,
Oh,
what
Was that the first thing you voted on?
It was
Yep.
one of the first
You
things.
think
Okay,
everything
so
was
It came right
sent
after we were seated.
I was wondering.
Okay, all right. Again, I was not aware of that, so I am now, and, we will move forward, what we gotta do.
Is
It's
it also
gonna,
time away from the board? It was board members as well, isn't it?
No, I don't think so. It was,
Just employees
and volunteers.
and volunteers. Yep.
Yes, so that you couldn't hold grudges.
It was an anti-grudge
Yes.
What?
thing.
Yes.
maybe we just possibly might have a board member who's scheduled to leave June 30th, I might consider sticking around or two, maybe it's process easier. I might,
Just,
is that loud? That's
yeah, I
loud.
was
Is that
gonna,
this?
yeah, that's,
Okay,
when you think out loud, that's called
I-
talking.
dang it, okay,
So,
all right.
Okay, moving on. Resolution 2025-1, adopting the 2025-2026 budget / imposing tax rate.
And that resolution is behind the work policy or the workplace violence policy in the new business tab.
The resolution that was in the budget books that we went through the budget committee, nothing has changed, and literally even in the truth of June 13th, June 13th, so.
Good work.
It fell apart.
Does somebody want to read that budget into the record?
If I can get to it, I will.
I'll talk to the administrative lieutenant about the better.
A book that's
The
not
books
sprung.
are-
Well, we're starting a
The
new,
books are.
so just get rid of everything from more than a year ago.
All right. Is this first reading? Is this what, reading the resolution? Resolution 2025-1, adopting the 2025-2026 budget. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of Vernonia Rural Fire Protection District hereby adopt the budget for fiscal year 2025-2026, approved for the amount of $1,218,500 by the Budget Committee of Vernonia Rural Fire Protection District on June 10, 2025, and now on file at the Fire District Administrative Office. Appropriating the funds, be it resolved that for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2025, the amounts shown are hereby appropriated for the purposes indicated within the funds list. General Fund, Vernonia RFPD, Personal Services, $648,000, Material and Services, $216,000, Capital Outlay, $26,000, total appropriations allocation, $890,000. Not allocated in the general fund, debt services, $0, transfers, $5,000, contingency, $100,000, total not allocated, $105,000. Total general fund, requirements, $995,000. Reserve fund at $59,000. Total reserve requirements, $59,000. Total appropriations, all funds, $1,054,000. Total unappropriated or reserved funds, $164,500. Total adopted budget, $1,218,500. Continuing resolution 2025-1, imposing the tax. Be it resolved that the Board of Directors of Vernonia Rural Fire Protection District hereby imposes the taxes provided in the adopted budget at the rate of $2. Is that right? $2.19.
Fractions are you just.
$2.19 and well,
2.1935 per $1,000 of assessed valuation for operations, and that the taxes are hereby imposed and categorized for tax year 2025-2026 upon the assessed value of all taxable property within the fire district. Categorizing the tax. General government permanent rate for general government limitations, 0.9535 per 1,000. Excluded from the limitations, 0. Local option levy, 1.24 per 1,000. Excluded from limitations, 0. Category total, 2.1935 per 1,000. Excluded from limitations, 0. Total rate levied, 2.1935 per 1,000. The above resolution statements are approved and declared adopted by the Board of Directors of Vernonia Rural Fire Protection District on the 10th day of June, 2025.
I hear a motion.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-1.
I second the motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor? Neil Kennedy,
Aye.
James Pizarski,
Aye.
James George.
Aye.
Budget is adopted. Approval of the special board meeting minutes, May 21st, 2025.
Those meeting minutes are in your meeting minutes right on the top. Meeting minutes tab. You'll see it just before the March or the May minutes.
My book's gonna fall apart again.
Probably.
Minutes.
Have to do them all in sections. Supposed to approve the check that we signed for the city of Hillsborough for the truck.
Oh, that was the special night. So I had
Yeah.
in that meeting. Was that
Are your meeting minutes tab?
your meeting
It
minutes?
should just be right on top.
Oh. Put a motion to adopt the meeting minutes for the special board meeting on May 21st, 2025.
I second this.
Neil Kennedy,
Aye.
James Pizarski,
Aye.
George.
Aye.
Motion carries. Meeting. Moving on, audience participation. Did you have anything you wanted to say to me?
Yeah, it's been a while since I talked to the board. I think probably this guy was running the show when I had last talked to the board. It's been a while. That was before yours.
That one knows.
I just want to say thanks to everybody for what was provided here for me for over the years. It's been Last couple of years has been a little light on my participation. It's just been real tough for me to get out of work and actually be participating. Things kind of changed here when Dean left. It's been kind of a little bit of a tumultuous time. But it's still a great group to be part of. So it's kind of with a heavy heart that I am saying that I'm done. I did want to put my name in the hat for the board. Didn't know that the rule existed, so I might see you guys in 5 years or so. So that's for the board of directors. Yeah, thank you. That's all I've got.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Laura, I really do appreciate it.
You're gonna get a phone call from me inviting you back here for a special event in the not so distant future.
Okay.
We know where you live.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lauren. Items not on the agenda, open to board and staff participation.
Was there any, do you have any audience participation, Steve, or? Are you all looking? Well, if you didn't say anything.
I'm a silent partner, but I'm looking forward to next month to come back and be part of this operation again. Fun time, good time.
Agenda suggestions for future
Oh.
meetings.
Because I have 14, we do have Chief Hansen would like to speak to the board, he's staff member.
Those of you don't know, I started the same time as did. Edith happens to be. This was the last one of myself that went to the academy. 6 months ago. Sorry to see him go. I'm here tonight to speak on the volunteer association as the chairperson. Difficult to get people to understand that the volunteers are different than the volunteer association and other instances. Over the years, we've had the volunteer participation in the association drop off tremendously. We have begun talks to join with the ambulance volunteer association and make one association for this. Past years, this has been brought up and it's always been told from us that the board of directors will not allow paid personnel to be a volunteer. I'm here tonight to find out that's still your policy. It's changed. Don't do anything about it. I know other departments do this, and we're checking into how they're doing it, how they're working around it. It's always been told to us that this board of directors of this department would not allow.
I think that has to do with the way that the state laws are set up around volunteer versus paid firefighter. And so I would leave that up to the incoming board to check in with our,
Legal.
with legal counsel.
So
To see exactly what is available.
the question that I had this conversation with Chief Hansen just last night, and how this works is this something in name only? Meaning that if our paid staff were to become members of this volunteer organization or the name, having the name of the Vernonia Volunteer Fire EMS Association, let's call it that, whatever my turn is name into. Under state law, under bully regulations, if Brandon was a member of that volunteer organization, and he comes in and does his regular duties as part of his regular job, we have a big fire, what have you, I have to pay him. I have to pay him overtime. And so that, to me, that's not an issue, if he comes in. But when I can say that, I was a member of a labor organization for 25 years in Columbia River, but we would come back and have social get-togethers, we did fundraisers, we did things like that, which wasn't part of our regular job duties, and we volunteered. I mean, we would be wearing our t-shirts and things like that. still represent the agency, but I'm not expected to be washing the fire engine or cleaning the bay or going on calls. If we were there and a big fire dropped and we all put our gear on and shut on fire, we're gonna get paid for it that time. But to participate, like I said, in fundraisers and other events, it was never an issue because we weren't doing our quote unquote regular job duties. I'm happy to discuss that with legal. And that, it's probably the right thing to do, but, just in thinking in my mind, if it's just in name only. And maybe they don't even need to have the name volunteer, Vernonia Fire and EMS Association.
Yeah, we haven't made any decisions on,
Right.
on names. There's a lot of issues we have to look into, correspondence and program we do, so. We're just getting this started, but I want to get a clarification from the board before we go into this, so we don't get paid staff into it. And get everybody.
That's,
I've got on your contact legal.
I don't have anything inherently against it.
I don't.
So
Not unless somebody remembers why that,
that was before me, I think.
I mean, I would assume that it's, to your point, that it's just a,
On the current board. Right. I mean, it's from back.
But-
12. I don't know how.
Just because the
Steve made.
nature of society we live in now, definitely need to check.
so does our historian know anything?
Oh, man.
Do you remember how this happened?
I do remember discussing this way back, and we're talking in that era. What brought it on is at the time, and Wage and Hour said that as me as a volunteer, because I would come back and do training at night, when volunteers get. Well, somebody within the organization turned the district in. At the time, I was working for the city of Vernonia. Well, they turned him in and said, we've got a guy up here, a paid firefighter who's working, and he's coming up with drills and he's not being paid. And they said, you can't be one. They said, if you're gonna be here, you had to have one of two things. Either had to be a wage issue where you pay for paid for your time, or you received at that time was called compensatory time. And well, at that time, I wasn't the chief. What the chief officer thought, his idea to government regulation was too bad, Charlie, we're just gonna do what we want to do. And I honestly, to this day, I have no idea what caused the turning. But anyhow, they came back and Wage and Hour come down and sat with me and went through everything to talk about what my duties were, what I didn't do. And determined that in fact, if I come back and work at the evening after I come home, to be with the guys to train or the staff, I was in violation. And the city of Vernonia was in violation. Long story short, I earned a lot of comp time that I never got to take. That was immaterial. But that's how they worked around it by doing that to us. So that's way back when.
That's probably typically where it came from.
Well, we had real serious issues with comp time.
Yeah.
2 years, 3 years.
So I think that we have to look at two facts. Number one is whatever's in the bylaws, this newly created organization. That dictates who's allowed in the organization. And number two is if we have to determine if whatever activities that our paid staff undertakes is not part of their quote unquote regular job.
That's what I think is that, I think that the way the wording is now is that it has to be substantially different
Yes.
than
And
what their
fundraisers
current duties are.
and parades are not part of their regular duties. That's
Well-
not it.
That's not necessary.
Well, I couldn't.
Kept my mouth shut.
Yes, I would say that,
I would have done it.
I don't know what I'm trying to say, but
Because we have it as part of their job is to be out in public and meet with.
that's true, but also their job description is other duties as assigned, which is all encompassing.
I know.
So that's usually, that's footage by management on just about every single contract there is.
That's why when you talk to council, you may want to show them what the, employee agreement
Yeah.
is currently and
Okay.
like that. So that way we have, going forward, the new board will have some kind of an idea as to what what they're looking for.
I will hopefully have this, you guys next board meeting.
Well, there's nothing to stop us as the pace that participating in events without being a member of that. Unless the rotating, so they say there's like 4 of us. I mean, so we don't really need to join the association to participate in their events.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
it's.
I mean, these guys just formed their own association too.
Honestly, that's in the next year or two, there's going to be probably 1 or 2 directions. We're going to join our own association, and we're going to join another association. So, which will most likely forbid them from joining the volunteering the same with some.
Thanks for bringing it up. Hopefully we've all figured it out.
I could say this, sometimes some of our regulations kind of really.
Yeah.
It's a sad thing, yes.
It's tough in a small community where we're so dependent upon each other and the community, you know, we have so much involvement in our community. And to say, well, we're bound by this.
It's also, yeah, it's also a resource issue. I mean, we only have so much resources and we can expand those in other areas. It's good for us, like the resident volunteer program, right? I mean, I came down and killed that and that was 3 people or 4 people that could run actually chips for us.
Yeah.
And
That's something long-term we might look at getting back, because I know Banks does it very successfully. They've navigated their whatever rules and regulations they've got. They got a very successful program down there. And if we were to ever come into the financial capability of doing something like that, then because they do pay their people a small amount of money.
right,
Nothing we could do right now, but maybe down the road we could. I'm looking at a program like that where we get some resident volunteers, intern, grow and follow up as well. So. I have another thing I'll do the order, and I'm gonna ask Director Kennedy.
Wait, we're not there yet.
Just a second, we're not there yet. Agenda suggestions for future meetings. And my agenda suggestion is that you put in your board election for board seats.
Officers.
Yes. So on next month's regular meeting.
We will have to swear in our new member. Right here.
It's going to be seating of any new elected members.
And we should find out if there's anybody else.
Any other agenda suggestions? Hearing none, go to the order.
I've got 2 things.
Okay, you want to start here first? And
Yeah, and then the second one. Okay, so I just want to say thank you to the staff that responded to my house when my kid went down a couple weeks ago. I'm not sure who it was, but it was a pretty scary thing for us. And my kid dropped and wouldn't stay conscious. My wife, some of you probably know that she's a law enforcement officer for 19 years. Luckily, she was home and she was sternum rubbing her to get her to come back up, and she would drop immediately again. So it was a pretty bad morning, but the crew got there and got her stabilized and got her transported. And in the end, all is well. But big thank you to you guys doing what you do and bringing the level of professionalism that you do. I know that it relaxed her immediately. She had somebody that she could lean on, which isn't normal for her. And once you got it back into her, she started to perk up. So appreciate it. Thank you. And then
Charles got something for you, Brandy's got something for you.
so I would like to thank you, Mickey, for the time that you've been on this board, that you have worked with this department, that you have led this group through a tumultuous time. 10 years of service. I want to say thank you.
You show it.
Go to the camera.
We have cake for you. We're so grateful. Thank you.
And a great boss. And I really appreciate it.
I won't miss you all.
Thanks, Maggie.
Better come visit, don't just disappear.
Thank you so much.
Get the energy moving. Last 4 years. You think I'm saying thank you? You know what? I have one more thing.
What?
That used to be my claim to fame when I was on the board. I was supposed to spend so much. But I have to say, just looking back, and you guys have heard me say this before, walking through some of the difficult times we walked through the last several years and sticking it out as board graduates took a lot. And I just love seeing tears on your face because I know it's never too late to.
You know, you're not termed out.
You have, I'm gonna speak real quick, Mickey, and you have, I've talked to a bunch of people about, before I quit this job, I needed to find out who I've been working for. And so I talked to probably every single volunteer, every single pay person. I talked to people like Steve, I talked to community members, and about 90% of them said, you have been through hell. And the most part is you stuck with it, you did it with class, poise, and composure. You held this place together through what this place has been through. Your name was in the newspaper, your name was all over Facebook, your name was all there. The things that you had, that you managed to bring this place out of a pretty dark area to hopefully something that's a lot brighter. That says a lot about your character and person and leader that you are. So as speaking as your immediate subordinate, I appreciate that. I appreciate you. And you will always be respected and welcome inside this building anytime you want.
I thank you.
Name's on the building too, so. you partially own it.
So I'm gonna ask one more thing at the end of this meeting. I put that on her. You gotta gavel us out. One last time.
So do I hear a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
Neil Kennedy,
Aye.
James Bazarski,
Enthusiastic eye.
James George,
Aye.
and motion carries. It is 8:02 PM. Our next meeting is July 8th, 2025 at 7 PM. Our next regular board meeting is at
Yes.
July 8th, 2025, 7 PM. We're adjourned.
Yay.
I think it should be said also, thank you for stepping up, you guys, too, the past couple of years. You guys have been through a lot as well.